Pakistan is struggling to recover from the worst ever floods in the history. The devastating waters did not only ruin the lives and property of the marooned people, but also damaged the infrastructure all over the country.
I have 8 children. We had only 30 minutes before the flood water could enter our house. We took our animals and utensils in that time and left our home for a safer place. I am an agriculturalist. The flood water brought with it a lot of sand that has now been settled over my land. My children used to go to school before and after the flood, but as we are not left with anything, I asked the government to help us in our hour of distress and provide us money for the reconstruction of my house.
As the flood water starts receding, a massive reconstruction work is needed at the earliest. The government has requested the World Bank and Asian Development Bank to conduct damage and needs assessment, which would provide the international community with the credible extent of the damage and help in estimating real cost of construction and rehabilitation. The World Bank has initially committed $1 billion for the reconstruction effort in the affected areas. We need shelter as the basic necessities to live a respectable life. We have seen a few government officials carrying vouchers to collect data of this flood catastrophe. Among them are school teachers, health department employees and land registrars.
There are a lot of health issues because of floods. Skin infection, stomach infection and other diseases are one of the major problems. Although the government and NGOs are providing medicines, but those efforts are not enough.
Data collection, basically the idea was that we wanted to know how many houses had been damaged, and secondly in what way were they damaged. So therefore we constituted various teams consisting of one patwari, two teachers and a local representative. This is the only way registration that we are doing right now. As far as district government is concerned, this survey is also registration, okay, because once we know that a person's house has been damaged, he is automatically registered as an affectee.
Once the data has been received, we then basically use a number of validity checks to make sure that the data that we have received is accurate. Because immediately after the damage, once the data is received, it's gathered by the government line departments in a hurry. And in some places the water is still standing, so it becomes very difficult for them to gather accurate data. So we use various plausibility and rationality checks to further fine-tune the accuracy of the data, and that is the data we use for our sector assessments, which basically include assessment of the direct damages, which is a monetary value which we attach to the losses that have occurred in basically the physical assets. Then we also look at the indirect damages, which is looking at the economy losses due to disruption in the flow of goods, services, etc. And then finally we come up with the needs part, which is really to replace the damaged and destroyed infrastructure, but by building it back better.